Hello everyone, this is SHERIN Jennifer working as an ad hoc lecturer in VS Patel Arts and Science College, BILIMORA. As you can all see that we are in a critical condition because of the coronavirus. We are in a lockdown situation, and especially the students who are worried about their exams and their syllabus and who will give their further guidance. So here I am as an English lecturer for my SYBSc students to discuss about a chapter on forgetting, which is written by Robert Lind. So students, Robert Lind is very much well known as a humorous essayist. His most of the plays are very much delightful, very much playful, and also very much simple to understand. So the title itself, on forgetting, tells us that it has been discussed about the memory of the human. The actual theme of the chapter is why do people forget things, what are the things that people forget, and what are the things that people tend to remember. So these are the main things that Robert Lind has discussed in this chapter. So before I discuss with you the important points that is described in your textbook, and before I discuss with you what Robert Lind has told according to his views on forgetfulness, I will discuss something that why people forget things. So I will try to explain you with an example that do you remember if you have attended any marriage ceremony or any birthday party 2 years back or 5 years back? Do you remember whose birthday party you have attended? Yes, we do easily remember that. But do you remember what outfit you have worn 2 days ago or 5 days ago? No, it is a bit difficult to recall it, or sometimes we totally forget it. Why do this happen, students? It's because the human memory always tend to remember the things, those activities in which we were totally involved with our complete dedication. We do that things because we love to do it. We do because we know that it is very much important. We enjoy doing those activities, and we do with a full energy and enthusiasm, and therefore we remember such kind of things for a longer time. Yes, but the things we consider it very simple things, we consider it very lightly, and we know it is not very much important and it is not very much needful for our life. So it is not necessary for us to forget that things, but those things are deleted from our memory by itself. Yes, so in the beginning of the chapter, we can see Robert Lind, he himself has wondered about the human memory, that how can people be so much weak in their memories? How can people forget their own luggages, their own carry bags, their own properties at the railway platform? Yes, it is the incident about the London which is described in the beginning of the chapter, where we can see the huge collection of carry bags and luggages and many properties of the people which are collected for sales. These are the things which are being forgotten by the people in the railway platforms. Yes, so he is wondering, Robert Lind is wondering that how can people forget their own property, in such railway platforms, right? So students, I am going to tell you the important points that you have to write down in your answers, which has been described in your textbook itself. Yes, so in this chapter, mainly Robert Lind has discussed about the things that we forget and the things that we remember. So first we will discuss what are the things that we not forget. We do not never forget the simple things that we always remember for our life. So very simple things like it is telephone numbers, address of your best friends, address of your friends. Okay, and another thing is if you are invited for an dinner or lunch, or you invite someone to your house, okay, you will never forget such kind of incidents. You will always remember, okay, whom you have invited to your house and in whose house you went for a lunch or dinner. So such appointments cannot be forgotten anytime. Another thing that you never forget is the names of your favorite actor and actresses, celebrities, sportsmen, criminals, murderers. Such people can never be forgotten because we like them, we love to see them, and they are remembered in our minds forever, right? Next very simple incidents that happens in our life is, for example, we are leaving the house. Okay, so but obviously when we leave a house, we know that we have to shut the door, lock the door, and then we have to live. So this is the simple thing we will never forget, that we have to lock the door and we have to leave the house. Another thing is about the clothings that is described in your textbook. So when you wear your shirt, obviously you will remember that you have to wear a tie next, and you have to wear a pant for of yours, right? So you will never forget this kind of things, very simple things. So these are the points that you have to include in your answers. These are very limited points. It can be many more such incidents happening in our life that we may never forget, but these points importantly you have to write in your answers because it has been described in your textbook, right? So points like, I'm repeating, telephone numbers, address of your friends, appointments of lunch and dinners, okay, your favorite actors and actresses, cricketers, murderers, okay, all these names you will never forget, and some clothings, and to shut the door when you leave the house. These are the points you can include in your answers, right? Next thing I will tell you about things that we forget. We forget very easily. What are the things that we forget easily? First thing is medicines. Students, you talk about medicines. Medicine is a thing that you can include in the points where we don't forget and we can forget also. Now, how we don't forget the medicines? There are some people who don't forget the medicines, who don't forget to take their medicines. Who are those people? The people who are suffering from a very complicated disease, very dangerous disease like diabetes patients, cholesterol, pressure, and especially the heart patients. They know how medicines are very much important for their health. They know if they fail to take these medicines, they will be facing a very critical health issue. Yes, and therefore they will never forget, because they know on the basis of the medicines they are living their life. So they will never forget to take the medicines. So these medicines you can include in the point that we don't forget. Medicines can also be included in the point that we forget, because the patients like who are with a common fever or having just headache or a cold, okay, just a viral fever, for such kind of patients, they know if they don't take medicines, their health issues will not be so much critical, they will not die. Yes, so such kind of patients, they take these things very lightly, and there are possibilities that they may forget to take the medicines. Next thing that we forget is posting letters. When someone gives you to post their letters to someone, or you have to post your own letter to someone, if you know that the matter is not very much important, posting letters can be forgotten. Carry bag, luggages during their journey, and especially handkerchief, these are the things that we forget, okay, during our journey when we move from one place to another. These are the small kind of things that we forget very easily. And another things you have to note down is articles, books, newspapers. Such are the things that we forget in our journey. We leave them in train, we leave them in taxis or rickshaws. These are the things that we forget. Another thing is walking sticks, which have been forgotten by the older men, and umbrellas during the monsoon season. Yes, so students, I'm discussing this very simple points because it is described in your textbook, and please you don't forget to mention all these points in your exams. Okay, next thing Robert Lind is describing and is explaining about the excellent memory, the person, which kind of persons have excellent memory. So who are they? They are like great writers, poets, composers of music. Just think, if these people have memory loss, if these people have forgetfulness, okay, what will happen to their career? If writers forget some of his characters that he has included in his story, how he will furtherly lead with his story, what will happen to his publication, right? If the composers of music forget what tune they have used previously, what will happen to their music, right? If poet forgets their lines and words, it will be a very much loss for their career. So these are the persons who have excellent memory. They live a successful life, they succeed in their life, and they give more and more interesting music, more and more interesting books they publish, just because they have excellent memories, right? Now students, I'm going to discuss about important lines, important points that you have to include in your answers. The first point is, Robert Lind found that young people forget more than the older ones. You understood? Young people like us, students the students going to colleges, and those people who are working, the young people tend to forget the things very fast, and they forget more things than the older ones. What may be the reason? Just because young people are the people who are holding too much of responsibilities, too much of too much of work for them. They are always in their dreamland. Okay, they have their own imagination, they have their own dreams, many much ambition, too much of work, okay, too much of pressure, and they every day they come up with the new experiences. Many exciting things happens in their life. Okay, there will be many things going inside in their thought processes. Yes, so because of too much of load in their brain, they tend to forget some of the things, some of the important things also that they have to handle in their life. So this is the first point. Robert Lane found that young people forget more than the older ones. Next point is, psychologists say that we forget things because we wish to forget them. This is the second important point. Psychologists, what do they say? We forget things because we wish to forget them. We don't want to remember something bad happened to us, or you are talking with the people who are not very much interesting to you. You are reading the book which is not too much entertaining you, or watching some shows that you are not enjoying, okay, or you are at the place where you are not happy. Such kind of things are being forgotten very easily because we are not enjoying the things, and these kind of things are not giving us any interest. Okay, so such kind of things, psychologists say we forget this kind of things because we want to forget it, because we are not enjoying things, this kind of things. We are not showing any interest. You are not showing interest to that book to read. You don't like to talk to that any person or some kind of things. You tend to forget them very easily. And this is the next point. Another point is, chemists make their fortunes out of the medicines people forget to take. Chemist, the people who work in medical line, in medical industries, what is their job? To make the medicines, to study about the medicines. Okay, they manufacture a lot many medicines for us, the people like for us. And what we do? We forget to take the medicines. Chemists earn their money, chemists earn their own bread and butter, they earn their own life by making the medicines for us, and we people forget to take the medicines. Is not it strange? Yes. So this is the third point that you have to remember to note down in your answers. Next point is talking about sports boys, sports men who are forgetting their sports tools like cricket balls and bats, or footballs, whatever things, gloves or stumps, whatever they may be having. This kind of things, they forget it on their ground and they leave to their house. Why these things happen? How can a sportsman or sports young boys can forget their sports tools on the ground? How can they forget their own cricket balls? The answer is because it comes to the next point, that is, they are citizens of dreamland. Okay, they're always worried about the match. Their only goal is to win the match, anyhow to win the match and to earn the name. Yes, they are sportsmen, their heads are among stars. They always wanted to become like their stars. Okay, they have their own goal, they want to lead in their sports life ahead. So they always keep on thinking about what is the next step to win the match. Okay, what we have to do, how much hard work and efforts we have to put ahead. So these are the only things that keeps on going in their mind. They are in their own imagination, they keep on dreaming of becoming stars, and therefore because of these thought processes, they tend to forget such kind of cricket balls and bats on the ground, and they get busy to think about what will be the next thing happening on the match. So next point, student, absent-minded man makes the best life and has no time to remember the prosaic things. What does this mean? Absent-minded men. Okay, what Robert Lind is telling, the men who are absent-minded, who forget the things very fast and very quick. So Robert Lind says that this kind of people always come up with the best things in their life. Why? Because there are no bad memories left in their mind. They always forget, and they keep on deleting the things from their mind, right? When they forget the things, there is many much space in their mind to fill up with good memories. Now they have got too much space in their mind to fill and to have a great ambition in their life. Okay, so now they are having a good ability to think on good things. Now they will more concentrate more on their goals, more on the necessary things that they need. Okay, so absent-minded makes the best of life, and they have no time. They don't waste their time on thinking about simple and common things, the prosaic things. So they forget the unnecessary things, they forget the simple things, and they concentrate more on their goal and achievements. They concentrate and work more on the things that is very much useful for them in their life. So therefore, Robert Lind has told that absent-minded, the people who forget prosaic things, the people who tend to forget simple things, they always people who forget simple things, they always come up with the best things in their life. Next thing is Robert Lind. We are going to discuss about the view of Robert Lind. What is thinking about forgetfulness? What he says, this is the another point you have to write down. If a person has a marvelous memory, it does not mean he is intellectual. You remember and mark this point, that if a person is having very marvelous memory, very excellent memory if has, it does not mean that is very intelligent. Okay, then which person are called intelligent? If the good memories are not called intellectual person, then who are called intellectual person? You have to write down further that he should know to apply the things. The person who knows to apply the things you remember in a positive manner. Okay, just having a good memory does not make you an intellectual person, but the memory that you are stored in your mind, you should know how to use it in your practical life in a positive manner. Only then such persons are known as intellectual person. Okay, and next thing I'm going to discuss about the advantages of forgetfulness. When a person keeps on forgetting the things in his life, what are the advantages according to Robert Lind? The first thing is, the person is always happy because there are no memories left. He does not know how much worse he was in his past. Okay, what are the wrong things he has done and what are the things that is going to happen. Okay, he does not have any storage, any memories left in his mind, and so he is happy. Okay, the next thing is, it enables him to reach the object of his great interest. Okay, now that makes the person more capable of becoming the best person, as I discussed very much before. Okay, so this is another advantage. A person who forgets, he always becomes the best person because he focuses more on his goals and achievements. Next thing is, a moment of forgetfulness is a moment of great joy. The more things you keep on forgetting, the more joyful times you experience, more happy moments you come to take experience, right? So Robert Lind, he himself says, what he says, that forgetting is the good quality of man. Okay, never think that forgetting is some disease or you have any problem in your mind, you keep on forgetting the things. No, what Robert Lind says, that forgetting is a very good quality of a man and it should not be taken as a curse. It is not a curse, but it is a good quality. He advises us to forget. Okay, Robert Lind himself tells us that people can forget, people should forget the things. Only then this memory, the space gets empty in your brain, and there are many more space to fill up with good memories. A lot more thought process will be going on for your achievements and to achieve your goals. Okay, so this is something important points that you can include in the chapter on forgetting. And one more important thing that I want to tell is the last incident which is described in your chapter, that is about incident of a father. As I very much told before, that Robert Lind is a humorous essayist. Okay, so he always keeps on adding some comic incident or joyful incident in his stories and in his works. So in the same way, in the chapter on forgetting too, in the last part of the chapter, there is a comic incident, a very humorous incident happening of a couple, a father who goes to a shop. He does not go alone, but he takes his own baby with him, a baby in his carriage. Okay, in a baby carriage. While he was passing the road, and he suddenly saw a pub, and when he saw a pub, he wanted to go inside and have a drink. He was happy by looking at the pub. He went inside. He went alone inside. He left his baby outside in the road. The baby was alone in the carriage outside in the road, and he went inside and he totally forgotten about the baby. Now fortunately there was the mother of the baby was crossing on the same direction of the road. She was shocked to see that it is her baby who is left here in the road alone, and she was so much in the fear, and she was so much anger on her husband, that how can her husband, the father of the baby, can leave the baby like this alone in the road, and the man can be so careless. So the mother of the baby, she took the baby and she went home. Now she is eagerly waiting for her father to come back to home. What was her expectation? The father would be coming with too much of fear. There would be too much of tears in his eyes. He'll be crying, and the father would be worried about the baby. But the mother was shocked to see the father. What happened? The father returned home, but father was not at all worried. He was totally happy, and he started to ask about the dinner. He asked his wife, as soon as he entered, he asked his wife that, what have you made for today's dinner? And the mother was totally shocked that how can you forget that we are having a child, and you took a child for the shop and you totally forget about the child. So this is one comic incident that has been described by Robert Lynn, and Robert Lynn is also wondering that such kind of men are still existing around surrounding us, that they forget their own baby also. So the very easily Robert Lynn has explained, and at the end he tells us that forgetting the things is a very normal thing. It is not a very big curse. You should not take it as a very negative thing for you, or you are having any problem in your mind or something. So forgetting thing is very normal, and he advises us to forget things, right? So these are the some points that you can write it down. And at last I can tell you that if you want to make your brain more powerful, your memory more powerful, to more strengthen your brain, the things that you have to do is you have to involve yourself in physical activities. Okay, you have to involve yourselves in many sports, and you have to keep on exercising. Okay, these are the things. Always make yourself inner and outer body very much fresh. Okay, next thing is always have a right nutrition. The food that you eat, you see, it gives a good nutrition, a healthy nutrition for your brain. Then your brain will become very much powerful. Next thing is good workout session. Workout session means you have to play games like puzzles. This can strengthen your brain, makes your brain more powerful, and makes your memory too very powerful. Learn new languages. Okay, learning new languages will also make your memory more powerful. Okay, and always keep yourself involving in kind of challenges. Keep on big challenges or small challenges. So in short, what you have to do is keep your mind and body active. When you keep your mind and body active, automatically you will not forget the things very easily. So students, if you feel that I have missed up some points on this chapter on forgetfulness, and if you feel that you want to clear up some things that I have not made it here, you can directly contact us, especially the students, SYBSc students. You can easily contact me, and you can ask me about some points if I missed out here. So most of the important points I have covered it here. If you have not understand, you are very much free to ask me. I will be available in the next video with you. Thank you so much, and stay home and stay safe. Thank you.